Namaste, my name is Matty Ben Vidal and I'm from Karnak Holistics. I just wanted to speak today about prayer and why it's important to pray and why it's important to have faith. So I'll catch you up for these messages. Okay, welcome back. So I just want to speak about prayer and how it's impacted my life, and when I never had much faith in element of prayer and the power that came from it when I did decided to really put my faith and my beliefs behind the act of prayer, how things have just shifted. And going back a couple of years, probably about 10 years from now, no, probably about 15 years, when things were not at the best point. I was raised a Roman Catholic, had mum going to church, dad didn't, where dad would go to church on Christmas Day, so on and so forth. However, we had to go every Sunday, and we went through the motions of obviously prayer and belief and so on, that God exists and that we had to be a good Catholic or good Christian, and in order to follow suit, that's what we were born into, that's what we were raised as. And I came from a good upbringing. That's not my qualms about what this video is about today. My reason for my video today and why I entitled prayer is because that when I really understood what prayer was about is when things massively shifted in my life. They say the saying is that when you meditate is when you quiet the mind. Prayer is when you speak to God. Now we all know God listens to you 24/7. He's in your heart and he's all around us. But it's like having a one-to-one when you have prayers, when you consolidate that time to just meditate and chant or pray, is when you're linking to that universal energy. Now, everyone calls that energy many things, from God to Allah, to the higher power, to what it is. You know, the reality is it's what is important to you and what you class that energy to be to you. Me, I feel comfortable in calling him God or the creator or the architect, or the universe. They're the references you hear me saying that's because it's suitable for me. And I would not change the way I identify with the creator so differently than if because I was from another faith background or from another faith. It's important. The most important thing is that you communicate and you find your own unique link with the creator. Now, over a period of time for me, when I really started when I really knew how powerful prayer was, is when I believe I really found the law of attraction, and I combined the both. So I had put the vision board up, I started visualizing, started really believing in what's going on, and I naturally could make things manifest anyway, because I've always had a strong faith. But it wasn't until I prayed, and when I pray, and there's a saying that pray with a fulfilled heart. That prayer should be not selfish, it should be selfless. So it should be about helping a fellow man. So, for example, if your enemy, people be saying bad things about you, ask for them to find the love in you, to find the power in you, to find the good things about you, the good things about themselves, because a lot of the ignorant people have low self-esteem within themselves. And that's where forgiveness comes in. That's another subject matter. But prayer comes together when you focus and you talk about the energy of forgiveness and moving on, and you beginning to forgive yourself in that sense, and taking fulfillment from that and going on your journey, and combining it with meditation. So if you meditate once a day, even for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, that link to quiet your mind opens up this inner peace within inside your soul. That's what it's there for. The reality is, for me, when I pray, and you don't necessarily have to get on your knees, you can bow, you can do any which way. It's the important part is quiet your mind and keeping that energy or him in proximity of your mind or your spirit, and keep it with your heart open, and know that you're talking to that living energy. You know you're talking to God as if you're talking to your dad or your mum. This is who and what's important about having a good, strong prayer. Now, everybody's got different ways of doing this. That's down to them, and I'm not going into any debates about it. But from what I'm just about, from where I came from, and I can only be real when I work and when I talk and when I work with people, and the lives that, not me, but the energies that work through me has helped other people, whether I'm coaching or healing, what it's done over a period of time. That's my evidence of his existence. So one of the big things I ask for when I pray is that is when people, if I don't ask for blessings on people, normally I always do, but sometimes I always end it saying, when they see me, let them see you. So let them see the goodness of you through me. So when someone sees the goodness about me, I want that. So I'm his representative. So if I'm in a negative state, I know I need to switch that up. That's me taking onus of me being real with me. And if I can't be real with me, then I would know I would lose the focus upon why he has sent me here to do his bidding or his will. We all have different directions to go in, and we all have different meanings and different reasons why we're here. But what's important is that you find your place in yourself with your links to him. Once you find your link through prayer, that's when you'll find your trueness within you. Now, over a period of time, things have been difficult for people. I get that. And sometimes it's hard to really be thankful and have that prayer in your heart. But know that your prayers will always be answered no matter what they are. Whether it's, as long as it's done from my pure energy, then it's going to be received. If it's about selfishness, about your selfishness and self-gratification and trying to find something for you, then there's an element of learning that you will get back. That's why sometimes bad things would happen when you say, oh, my prayers haven't been answered. The prayers are being listened to, you're just not being given what you need, because that's your stuff where you're saying to me that prayer doesn't work. That's your situation. That's down to you to change, to look at yourself about why your links isn't happening. When that can open up, and when you start looking at the reality of why it's not happening, why you're not connected, then you know things will shift for you. Now, over the period of my life, people have done a lot of negative things and turned and so on and so forth. I'm not being pure as a drip of snow. However, my heart has always been open, and I've always been given from love from a open, pure place as much as I can. I'm not divine. There's only one divine. Angels are not divine. Angels are just beings like us. They just are closer to the spirit because they've got high frequencies of consciousness. And that's where we should be shifting to. So through prayer, that's where we can start beginning to shift our true self and true consciousness, is to move up to that level, to realize that we are of a different mindset and different ways of thinking. But until then, we're just going to be staying on this rat race if we don't start changing our perception of how we pray and how we look at ourselves. You can go to as many healers and teachers and so on as possible. A good teacher or a good coach or a good transformational coach or healer or so on would always bring it back to you to change from within, then to change the without. And then once the inside has changed, the outside will just naturally shift as well, because your mindset has changed, your spirit has changed. And there's my answer. See the birds. So, descending on that note, and love and peace to you, and namaste. And please leave comments below. And yeah, stay blessed and stay safe and keep shining.